So now we have all these data here, right? This one is, so let's fill this in. 1986 would be under way back. 50% spoke with adult child, and so I noticed that the variables are, you know, the same. Comparing the 2 years, so spoke with child, spoke with adult child. So the variable you could put here, parent spoke with adult child, spoke with adult child, and they're all parents. The parents are doing the speaking, and all the actions here are by parents. So I'm just gonna put parents here. So those are all actions by parents. Spoke with adult child. So in 1986, it's 50%, right? Or actually less than 50%. So less than 50%. In 1986, I put that in parentheses. So less than 50% spoke with adult child from way back 1986 in the specific case. In 2008, how many percent spoke with adult child? 87%. Is we have it up here, and this is straight from the paragraph. But it's just so much easier after you've written it out. That's 2008. So this part is parents gave advice, and we noticed that we have this same variable here in recent years, around 2012 now versus 1988. Parents gave advice, parents gave advice. So that's a variable here. Parents gave advice. So yes, 1988, less than 50%. In parentheses, 1988. Here would correspond to this part. Parents gave advice 90% in recent years. 90% of parents gave advice in recent years. So since I have recent up here and no year was specified, I'm just not going to put anything there. So here is another variable, provide help. And provide help, right? 1988. So let me put the variable here in this column. Less than 33% of parents in 1988 provided help in the recent week that they took the survey, I guess. So in recent years, recently, 70% of parents provided help when they took the survey. 70% in recent year provided help. So now that we have the data from the paragraph plugged in, this is more organized now, so you could clearly compare. So way back, recent. So in this recent generation, this email generation, or whatever you want to call it, 87% spoke with adult child compared to 50% way back. 90% recently gave advice compared to less than 50% from way back. 70% recently compared to less than 33% in the generation way back. Oh, I forgot to finish this. Provide parents that provided help. So the recent years clearly shows, the recent generation shows more benefits when the adult children moved back with parents. In terms of the benefits of the closer connection, they're more savvy, getting more knowledge and wisdom from the parents. So this clearly shows that this is from paragraph 7. So paragraph 7, the data or statistics in paragraph 7 clearly supports what the authors have been saying all along about the benefit of the young adult children moving back with parents. With that evolving trend actually benefits these young adults. In recent years, the trend has been evolving. In recent years, it's been increasing number of young adults moving back and benefiting. On the second row here, actually, I'm made an error, or I have parents here again. This is redundant because parents is a variable up here already, so I don't need this. I'll get rid of that parents here. So this table I constructed, it does make it a lot clearer regarding the statistics presented in paragraph 7 and how it supports the main idea of the article. But most likely for many of you, and actually for me too, even without constructing this table, just writing down, the information quickly here, 1986 and the symbol of less than 50%. So just, simplifying it here helped me understand, see clearly how this paragraph, these numbers supports the main idea. And from what we've read so far, the main idea seems to be toward the direction of the trend in adult children moving back with parents in this recent generation, the increasing trend, and also how that's actually beneficial, contradictory to preconceived notions. And the simple data here totally supports the main idea. In this third column, the recent generation of adult children moving back with parents, these variables are all positive variables, showing positive connections between parents and son and daughter, parents and child. Parents gave advice, parents spoke with adult child, provided help to adult child. These are all positive variables, and in recent generations it's a high percentage, 87%, 90%, 70%, compared to past generations way back, 50%, 33%. So they have a smaller percentage of all these positive variables than recent generations. So clearly the data shows the benefits of the recent trend in adult children moving back with parents. Because it is best for me not to extend this into another video, let me just point out the most significant points for the rest of the article. Paragraph 8 provides further support for the closer relationships between parents and adult child becoming best friends. It also points out that this trend actually began in good economic times in 1999. This part may confuse students because the authors may seem to be contradicting themselves, as this is in conflict with the information in paragraph 2, stating the fragile economy should exacerbate this phenomenon, and I quote that. However, if you encourage the students to read carefully and to get away from the simplistic thinking of just one sole cause, in this case the economy, then they may realize that the author is saying that the bad economy is only one contributing factor that may accelerate this phenomenon. But the economy is not a sole cause or only cause of the phenomenon of adult children going back to parents, as demonstrated in paragraph 8, where the phenomenon began during good economic times, but was exacerbated or accelerated by bad economic times. Paragraph 10, the key supporting point that stands out is that the benefits of such ties of adult children to parents have already been shown in other cultures from a global perspective. In both paragraph 11 and paragraph 9, the authors point out technology such as Facebook, email, and cell phones as another factor that encouraged the closer reconnection of parents and adult children. As New York Times writers are supposed to be objective, or at least appear to be objective, the authors in paragraph 12 and paragraph 13 briefly presented the point of view of potential critics of their main message, but they quickly counter the critics' possible arguments quickly in the next paragraph, which is the concluding paragraph, which further strengthens their main message of the positive effects of adult children moving back with parents, saying we should celebrate the reestablished, and I quote, strong bonds, unquote, and appreciate that the generation gap has been solved by this phenomenon. So let's wrap up the main message or main focus of this article. And this is what I think the main message is. Contrary to the traditional negative view of adult children moving back with parents, associating such phenomenon with overdependence, and despite the traditional and uncomfortable view toward adult children living with parents, such a pattern is growing over the years, the pattern of adult children moving back with parents, and have actually shown to be beneficial in bridging the generation gap and producing closer parent-child bonds than previous eras. This pattern of phenomenon has also proven to be beneficial in producing wiser, savvier, and happier young adults than previous generations. So I think that's the main focus or main message of the two authors in this article. That may be a little long, and if I have time, I would probably revise that to make it shorter.